Alrighty, here we go, guys. This has got to be quite the different view for you. We're on 4 wheels instead of 2 right now. Alright everybody, what is up? What is up? As always, thanks for stopping by to another video today. We have got a pretty exciting one. I want to introduce you guys to my latest toy that I have purchased. But before we get started, don't worry, the motorcycles are still here. The Harley Street Bob and Harley Sportster have not gone anywhere. Just a little something that I kind of purchased in the last few weeks. I wanted to introduce you guys to this. It's kind of cool. Just wanted to get some of your guys' feedback on this. Let me know what you think of this new purchase I just made. But as always, don't worry, the motorcycles, like I said, they're not going anywhere. This will still remain pretty much a all motorcycle channel, so you don't have to worry about that. So we are up here in Fairmount Park, Philadelphia. Let's go ahead and introduce you to the latest purchase I just made. Alrighty, so there you have it. Like the title says, I have purchased a Jeep Wrangler. So this is a Wrangler Sport. It's got the 4.0. This is a 6-cylinder with the 5-speed transmission. So this is a 2001. Obviously, it's a burgundy reddish color. We've currently got a soft top on it. So just want to give you guys a little introduction to this here. I will say that I honestly don't know a whole lot about Jeeps in the first place. So I'll be curious to get any of your guys' feedback out there. Let me know what you guys think of Jeeps, if you have any experience with Jeeps. I want to really get into doing some, like, a little bit of off-roading with this thing. Nothing too crazy. Maybe do some simple modifications here and there. But like I said, let me know down in the comments if you guys have any experience with Jeeps. What type of things should I be doing to the Jeep? Where should I be taking the Jeep? What type of modifications and things like that should I be doing to this thing? So we're going to do a little bit more of a walk around of the outside, show you guys what the condition of the outside is looking like, and then we'll go into the inside, and then we're going to take the thing out on the road for a little ride as well. So like I said, this is a 2001, so we're going to see a lot of the normal wear and tear for an almost 22, 23-year-old Jeep. Now, I did get this thing with 183,000 miles on it, so that's a pretty good chunk of miles, I would say. But I got it from a guy who was a mechanic. He did some work to it. He did new brakes, rotors, some stuff under the hood. So I feel fairly confident he was a mechanic at a shop that did a lot of the work to this. So I feel pretty good about it, feel pretty confident about it. Again, if you guys are wondering why I got it or what I'm going to use it for, really just kind of an around town, I mean, I guess I wouldn't say beater, but just kind of an every once in a while, drive it once or twice a week. Like I said, the motorcycles will still be the main method of transportation for me. Alrighty, so let's start over on this side. Like I said, we are working with a 22, 23-year-old Jeep right now. So you're gonna see a lot of that normal wear and tear stuff. I did some inspections underneath. It looks pretty good. We'll get to that in just a second. But obviously the soft top is in pretty good condition. It's held up through a few rainstorms so far, no leaks or anything like that. So that's one nice feature. The soft top is in pretty good condition. Everything locks into place really tight, and it's sealed really well. Of course, some of the plastics, you're going to have some of the patina here just from old age, I'm assuming. I'm assuming some of that could be touched up, but I'm fine with that look the way it is right now. So we come down into the doors and some of the body. Of course, like I said, you know, I mean, you got that normal wear and tear. You got some scratches, you got some dents, you know, you got discoloration of the mirrors and plastics and things like that, but not a whole lot of rust. I mean, you're going to see some rust in some spots, but overall pretty happy with the condition of the body. We'll come around into the front. I believe this grill is like an aftermarket type grill that the guy put on here. Again, taking a look over through the hood here, you're gonna see some dents and nicks. I think a lot of that, like I said, is just normal wear and tear for a 23-year-old vehicle. Some of the fenders here were replaced. He said there was a little rust there, so he replaced it with some of that diamond plated steel right there. The tires, we're working with BF Goodrich all-terrain tires. I don't know much about the size or quality of these or anything. If you guys know more about good tires to be on your Jeep, go ahead, drop it down in the comments and let me know. So again, as we come over to this side, there is a little bit of a rust spot in the body here. That might need fixed up at some point. Doesn't look too terrible just yet, but again, a lot of your normal kind of nicks and stuff over here. A look at the soft top on this side. Again, like I said, it's been pretty good. It's held up through a few pretty intense rainstorms here in Philly recently. So that has been good. I have put the top down once or twice so far. That's always a cool experience with your Jeeps as well. So I know one of the big things about Jeeps is always kind of questioning the frame and the rust getting under there. The guy told me he did just recently redo the underneath of this. So I was able to kind of get down under there and take a look. I don't know how much lighting or how dark it's going to be under here. You guys can see some of that. The good thing is there's no sag, you know, there's nothing loose there. I don't see anything rusting through at the bottom, which is pretty important. So I felt pretty confident in the frame. We'll take a look up more at the front here. Looks pretty good from everything I saw there as well. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger and was like, you know what, go ahead and get myself this 2001 Jeep. Of course, being that this is a 2001, this is the TJ model that I hear a lot of good things about. I hear a lot of people like that model. I believe that was from like 97 to 2006 or something like that. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I've heard a lot of good things about the TJ models of the Jeeps, that era, that time frame. Like I said, this thing has 183,000 miles on it. It's been running strong for me so far, which has been good, runs good, shifts good. Only driving it once or twice a week, that's all I really need it for. So it's been serving its purpose so far. So let's go ahead and open this thing up, take a look at what we got going on inside. Again, door panels, you know, some stuff has been fixed up here, of course. You know, you're gonna see a little bit of rips in some of the upholstery, nothing I was too concerned about. Again, like I said, the guy was a mechanic. He fixed a lot of this stuff up. So he recarpeted it. So let's take a look across the dash and the inside here. Take a look over into the passenger side. Again, up into the soft top inside. Like I said, the soft top has been pretty good quality, it seems like, from what I saw. Again, I don't know too much about Jeeps. I wasn't really sure what I was getting myself into. Just kind of knew that they were always cool, always kind of wanted one. Had the opportunity to pick this one up for a decent price. Seemed like decent condition. Went ahead and pulled the trigger. So same thing over on the passenger side here. Like I said, he recarpeted the whole thing here. We got some mats down on the floor. I haven't had any leaking or any issues with some intense rain that came through. So everything has been pretty good so far. Again, we got the 5-speed down here, the manual transmission, the 4-wheel drive, your emergency brake, all that normal stuff. You did have the radio replaced with kind of an updated, newer one that's got Bluetooth. You can link your phone to it and everything. So that's pretty good. Let's take another look at the frame underneath from the passenger side. Again, seems to be pretty good. Of course, I'm no mechanic. I don't even know what I'm really looking for, but compared to some other ones that I looked at, this one seems to be pretty well off and in pretty good condition. So again, 2001, had 183,000 miles on it, and it seemed to be in a little bit better condition than even newer ones that I saw with less mileage. So I think it was cared for pretty well. Like I said, the guy got it off of was a mechanic, kind of trusted some of the things he was saying and some of the things he said he did to it. So let's go ahead now. We are going to hook up the camera inside. We're going to hop in, take this thing for a little bit of a ride, talk a little bit more about how it rides and how it handles. Alrighty guys, so like I said, I really previously had no experience whatsoever with Jeeps. So there's a few things that I've kind of noticed right off the bat. Obviously, driving a manual transmission, I did have experience with that, but driving it around the city kind of sucks. You know, it's kind of like a motorcycle. It's stop, it's go, lights, turning, like just so much nonsense. Kind of gets annoying driving a manual transmission through the city, but you kind of deal with it. And just like that, right there, I noticed the handling on these things is pretty crazy. You feel every single bump. I don't know if that's because of like elevated suspension or because it sits high or the way the tires are or what, but man, you hit bumps on this thing and you definitely feel it. And I kind of compare it to the bikes sometimes because, you know, you're feeling every bump on the Harley. The Jeeps too are almost kind of similar in that sense, and like it's just very basic, stripped down, not a whole lot of technology, not a whole lot of frills. Of course, this is a 2001, so it's a little bit of an older variation, of course. But like I said, that is one thing that has taken a little bit of getting used to, is just kind of the way that it handles across the road. The bumps really kind of shakes and rattles you, but when you're on smooth ground and stuff, it's pretty much fine from there. The next thing that took some getting used to was kind of the handling, I guess, of the steering wheel. It's just like very loose. You kind of got to really pay attention to you know, what you're doing when you're driving and the way this thing handles. The steering can kind of be a little bit all over the place. I don't know if that's kind of standard across, you know, all Jeeps or a lot of Jeeps. I don't know if, you know, if it's the bigger tires, the way they're kind of elevated a little bit, but handling is a little sketchy. Takes a little bit of time to get used to, but from there you're all set and good to go once you get familiar with it. So as far as the way the engine goes, engine feels, you know, pretty good and strong and sturdy for, you know, 23-year-old car with 180,000 miles on it. It shifts properly, runs properly. Everything has been good so far with the way that this thing has been going. You know, no problems with, you know, shifting into different gears, finding neutral, all that different stuff. Been pretty steady for me so far. I feel like that's one of the things that you kind of worry about, you know, when you're buying a used vehicle, any used motorcycle, used car, used anything really is, I mean, you really don't know what it's been through or what you're getting yourself into, but, you know, taking a little bit of a risk. But so far, like I said, for my purposes with this thing, driving it, you know, once or twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week, it's been holding up pretty good for me so far. All of those different factors that I mentioned, you know, some of the handling, you know, the boxy shape of this, it takes a little bit of time to get used to. Getting used to the all the old manual transmission again. Hadn't driven a manual in quite a while, but you know, I mean, it's like riding motorcycles, a skill you don't really ever forget. But that took a little bit of getting used to, driving around the city again. One of the things I'll also say about this is I don't think it has anti-lock brakes, so that's another thing that took a little bit of getting familiar with. Is I noticed, and again, I don't know if this is all Jeeps, it's very easy to kind of lock up and skid the brakes on this, and I'm assuming because no anti-lock brakes, I think in 2001, I don't know if it was an option or what on these things, but it kind of slides around, especially when it gets wet. You got to be very, very careful with the brakes, specifically on mine. I don't know if they're all that way, but I do a little bit of sliding around, took some getting used to, just to kind of get familiar with how the brakes are operating and everything like that. Alrighty, so I do think we are going to get closer here to wrapping this one up. Like I said, just got a 2001 Jeep Wrangler Sport TJ, so just wanted to kind of introduce you guys to this, let you know about it. Of course, the motorcycles are not going anywhere. This is still going to be a motorcycle heavy channel, but I figured, you know, Jeep, autos, motos kind of go a little bit hand in hand. Thought I would introduce you guys to this. Now, of course, if you guys do want to see more Jeep content, drop it down in the comments and let me know. I do have some ideas where we could sprinkle in some Jeep content every now and then. But like I said, don't let that deter you. We're going to definitely always be the Moto Jawn. We are pretty much all motorcycles. But it could be cool to sprinkle in some Jeep content every now and then. Let me know down in the comments if you guys would like to see that. Of course, as always, if you guys like anything we got going on here, motorcycle related, now Jeep related, City of Philadelphia related, all that good stuff, make sure you go ahead and like this video,